Good morning. Good Shabbos. Shabbat Shalom. Um, Today is the day after the big fast day of Tisha B'Av. It was yesterday. So this is the 10th of Av, which is actually a day of celebration. Um, in contrast to the 9th of Av, Tisha B'Av, or Tesha, it's 9, which is the day that commemorates the brokenness of the world and manifest in the Jewish calendar by destructions of the temple, of the first temple, the second temple, expulsion from Spain, um, many other dates fall on this date or close enough to be to this date to be considered this date. And it's kind of everything except for the Holocaust, which has its own day. Everything is kind of brought into one focus. And it's really not just about the Jewish calendar, but it's, at least now, it can be interpreted, I think it always could be interpreted, about the condition of being a human being and making mistakes and acting in hurtful ways and the world is not perfect. I think we can all agree on that. And so this is a way to acknowledge that and to, and we ask forgiveness is the beginning of this teshuvah period in a way. The teshuvah means return, and the letters tet, tav, shin, and bet of tisha, tisha, ba'av, and av ends in a bet. Bet and bet are the same letter. Are the same three letters of teshuvah, tav, shin, bet. So I did fast yesterday. It's a 25-hour fast. It started here at 8:20 and ended at 9:02. It goes by I guess it's 18 minutes after the sun sets, just like Shabbat, and after dark, just like Shabbat. It's 25 hours, and there are special prayers, special supplications, and I'd like to refer to one of them today because I was really struck by the intimacy of our relationship with God. And God, G-O-D, really doesn't do justice to the enormity, the infinite enormity of the one being of all that is and beyond what is. That's better represented by the Hebrew letters Yud and Hey and Vav and Hey, which are permutations of the verb to be, and it's really the only being that exists, the only essence of all that is, and certainly all that we can be aware of and beyond, right? So, but the thing is, God is so vast, right? But also so inside of us, so inseparable from us. We're held in this God space, and we hold the God space. Like it's there's no wall between us and God. It's not God doesn't stop here, and God doesn't end here. It goes beyond this oneness of being, and if you contemplate that and kind of take that in, you may be able to feel, maybe you already do, feel God's presence inside. It's that part of, for me, it's that part of me that is the most true, the most compassionate, the most healing. But I think the most true is really how I want to think of it now. And so I want to read you part of this special fast day passage. Anenu, answer us. Anenu, Hashem, or the Yud He Vav He, Anenu, answers us b'yom tzom, on this public fast day. Ta'ani Tenu, our public fast day. So the special words in this are, we call your kindness. Let's see. Please be near to our outcry. Please let your kindness comfort us. Before we call to you, answer us as it is written. And it will be that before they call, I will answer. While they yet speak, I will hear. And in Hebrew that is, V'haya terem ikra'u va'ani e'eneh. Odhem medabrim va'ani eshma. Ki ata yud he vav he, the name for God, ha'ona be'et sarah, who responds in the time of distress, who rescues and redeems in every time of distress and woe. So God hears before we speak and answers before we call. So that tells me that I don't have to even articulate what's wrong. I just have to experience it and notice it, and that's where mindfulness can come in. I just have to notice it, be aware of the distress, and then God is aware of it because God is in me. And before I speak, God's answering. So the thought is there to speak. You don't even have to say the words. God's already answering. So our connection is that close. Like, you'll be with someone you really love and they'll just look at you and say, what's wrong today? I can tell something's different. You don't have to say anything. That's kind of, sometimes we wish everyone would be like that. And we forget that not everyone can be that sensitive to us or even has the capacity to be that sensitive. But there are people we encounter that can just intuit what's going on in you. So God is like infinitely like that. And so I guess for our meditation, I'd like for us to focus on connecting our awareness to how this very moment, what is happening, could be very peaceful, could be serene, could be happy, could be troubled. Everything has a feeling quality. And just to focus on the feeling quality of that and to allow healing to be brought to that. Allow God's healing to be in there. There's a meditation that I'll teach more visually with the letters, which you can say the 4 letters are Yud and He and Vav and He, which are the permutations of the verb to be. So the Yud is just a little comma, and the Vav is like a little comma extended down. And the 2 He's are the sound of breathing. So you can just imagine when you're breathing in, Yud He, and the Yud extends down to your heart. And then on the exhalation, it's Vav He, and the Yud comes back up. So you can internalize God coming in with each breath and going as far down as needed, and then coming back up when the exhalation comes, just so you can take a new breath. And the exhalation can release and allow whatever is transpiring between you and God, between you and you with a capital Y. Let's try that. So I'll time us for 30 minutes, and I'll let you know when the 30 minutes has passed. I'll pause the recording now. Welcome back. Return to the home of your soul. Return again. Return again. Return to the home of your soul. So, I hope that the introduction helped bring us closer to the Holy One and the holiness that resides in us at all times and is always accessible if we remember. I forgot to put in the remembering part in the instructions. So if during a meditation period the mind wanders and then it remembers that it's wandering, you can actually, if you're still somehow aware, if the breathing is still established, that is kind of the main thing that's even going during autopilot. If you go off, you can actually return to the breath wherever it is, like if it's in the out breath as it's going out, or if it's in the in breath as it's going in. You don't have to start again with breathing, but just get back on the train of rising and falling with the breath. And during the sit, I did start with the going in and out with the letters that I described, Yud He and Vav He, and then I let it go deeper, like all the way down to the soles of my feet, and all the way through to the top of the crown of my head. And that's another way to practice that we might explore later. And I also want to mention that in the context of Tisha B'Av, the fast day yesterday, that now the whole calendar shifts and we have 7 weeks of comfort, 7 haftarot of comforting. And one of them is Nachamu. Nachamu comes from the Rachamim. Nachamu, comfort us. Nun is like us, and U is plural. Nachamu, Nachamu. And so just kind of tune into that, the feeling of comfort that's available in this period. The Rachamim, the compassion that's so accessible right now. So thank you for joining me today, and I hope to see you next week or another Friday morning. And good Shabbos and blessings.